you kind of look at them like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Listen, this is a disgusting business. That's all I'm going to say. This business is so disgusting that I can't. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators.
When Jay was going after B was a very young...
Each other and you respect each other's music. You know, it's always that conversation. Yo, we got to do something. You know that.
Right.
You know, the time filler.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When that time filler turns into something real, then it...
That is becoming more and more clear is that we aren't just looking at a bunch of wealthy creeps operating with total impunity. We are looking at a massive criminal network that may be responsible for the rape and murder of hundreds of...
They said Wendy was finished, erased, buried under headlines and silence. But like a ghost who refuses to stay in the grave, she's resurfaced louder, sharper, and aiming straight at the throne Beyoncé thought was untouchable. And now the whispers aren't just about Jay-Z anymore. Online chatter claims both their names surfaced in documents tied to Epstein, and the internet is exploding with theories that would shake even the strongest empire. If Beyoncé thought Wendy's old rant about that rumored 2011 fake pregnancy scandal was brutal, what's coming next might be far...
Allegedly the song Daughter on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album.
I love that one.
It's potentially a murder confession about Jay-Z's mistress, Kathy.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no... Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go, nowhere. Which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties. To walk mother out! Cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come. You Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have done a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
But here's where the plot thickens. Long before these rumors started exploding online, Wendy had already thrown shade in Beyoncé's direction. Some of you might have forgotten, but back in 2011, the internet nearly melted down when Beyoncé's baby bump seemed to fold in on itself during a live interview. People replayed the clip frame by frame, arguing over what they saw, while her team tried to calm the chaos with bikini photos meant to prove everything was real. To critics, those pictures didn't settle a thing. They just fueled the debate, looking like snapshots of anyone after one heavy holiday meal. And trust me, Wendy was not convinced.
His pregnancy is a way of keeping Jay-Z's alleged mistress away. Beyonce is going to use a surrogate so she can maintain her body, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, that they gave birth.
And Wendy didn't back down when she claimed only a tiny circle was present when Beyoncé supposedly delivered, because rumors about that night have floated around for years. Reports even surfaced that Beyoncé's team paid more than $1.3 million to reserve an entire hospital floor for privacy. Supporters said it was about security for a global superstar. Critics saw mystery instead. Why so much secrecy? What could be so sensitive that an entire wing had to be cleared? The questions kept multiplying, and the silence around them only made the speculation louder. Then another old story resurfaced, one tied to Jay-Z's former friend, Larry Johnson, whose friendship with him ended under murky circumstances. Years later, Larry began speaking publicly about powerful forces he claimed were shaping the industry. He described an early 2000s after-hours party in Colorado he said was linked to the Carters, a gathering he claimed felt unsettling because some attendees seemed far younger than expected. He even alleged Beyoncé made a strange remark that stuck with him. None of these claims have been proven, and they've never been confirmed by authorities, but once Larry spoke, the rumors exploded. Suddenly timelines, friendships, and old feuds were all dragged back into the spotlight, turning whispers into a storm that refuses to die.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play, and after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults, which I can respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking loud music and us dancing wild. Like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories. I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually...
And then there was Jaguar's explosive appearance on Piers Morgan in Censored, the interview that nearly dragged her into a courtroom storm with Jay-Z and Beyoncé. She didn't whisper. She didn't hedge. She sat under those bright studio lights and dropped a claim so shocking it froze the room. Jaguar alleged that Beyoncé somehow played a role in the tragedy that took Aaliyah's life. The moment aired, social media detonated. Headlines flashed. Fans argued. Lawyers were rumored to be watching. Because this wasn't ordinary gossip.
Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to.
And since Aaliyah's name keeps coming up, the internet keeps circling back to the old theories that her tragic death somehow cleared the runway for Beyoncé's rise. It's a narrative fans have argued about for years, some insisting jealousy played a role because Jay-Z allegedly showed interest in Aaliyah before he ever got close to Beyoncé. Add to that the heartbreak and unanswered questions surrounding Aaliyah's fatal crash, and speculation only grew louder. But investigations into the accident have long concluded it was caused by an overloaded aircraft and pilot error, not any plot, and no evidence has ever connected Beyoncé or Jay-Z to the tragedy. Still, online rumors refuse to die, twisting timelines and retelling the story like a conspiracy thriller. There were also stories repeated in interviews about industry figures trying to pursue Aaliyah after her split from R. Kelly, including comments from Dame Dash about competition and unwanted attention. None of it proved anything beyond messy celebrity gossip, but it fed the myth that rivalries were deeper than fans realized. And then the rumors went darker, dragging in names like Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy, claiming secret parties and shadowy rituals. There's no verified evidence behind those claims either, yet every resurfaced interview, every late-night podcast clip, keeps the speculation alive. Because in the world of celebrity legend, whispers can sound louder than facts, and once a rumor catches fire, it burns long after the truth has spoken.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Mm-hmm. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know, right. Jay-Z and Beyoncé being, you know, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in right at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Right. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man.
And just when the noise started to fade, things spiraled again. Right after DeBab's story made the rounds, attorney Ariel Mitchell went on air and dropped a chilling hint, saying someone had contacted her about a tape that allegedly showed Diddy with another very famous celebrity at a wild private gathering. She never said a name. Not once. But the timing of that interview, coming right on the heels of DeBab's conversation with Shannon, sent the internet into detective mode. Fans began connecting dots that might not have even existed, building theories faster than facts could catch up. Within hours, timelines were dissected, screenshots flew across social media, and whispers turned into headlines. Some people convinced themselves they knew exactly who Ariel meant. Others called it reckless speculation with zero proof. And right there in the middle of it all was Beyoncé, her name dragged into conversations she was never actually mentioned in, simply because rumor loves a crown to target. No evidence, no confirmation, just a storm of assumptions growing louder by the minute, proving how quickly suspicion can rewrite a narrative when the spotlight never turns off.
Also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but yes. The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and
correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video. And I can tell the video is in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video. So to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videoed.
What he is a broke down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. He did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyoncé. Y'all remember that? It happened on Shay Shay. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house.
But here's the twist that sent everyone whispering behind closed doors. Rumors started flying that Beyoncé was quietly tightening security around herself after the Epstein chatter exploded online. The source? Not a statement, not a report, just one of those anonymous blind items that spreads like wildfire in celebrity circles. The post claimed insiders were worried she might bolt without warning, exhausted by pressure, contracts, and expectations that never let her breathe. It painted a picture of a superstar trapped between loyalty, control, and fear of losing everything she built. The same rumor hinted she was battling emotional struggles and feeling boxed in by family influence and business ties. None of it confirmed, none of it proven, but the story kept growing because people love a dramatic escape narrative. The blind item even suggested she'd watched what happened to other stars who tried to walk away and worried about facing the same fallout. According to the Post, she was quietly preparing a backup plan, making sure she'd have a safe landing if she ever stepped away for good. Then, just to add more fuel, YouTuber Storm Monroe repeated similar speculation months earlier, suggesting she might even separate from Jay-Z if scandals ever exploded. No evidence. No confirmation. Just rumors echoing across timelines, growing louder with every retweet, because in the world of fame, even a whisper can sound like thunder.
Why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah." Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she...
And of course, the rumor mill didn't stop there. Old stories started resurfacing about former employees who supposedly spoke out, claiming Beyonce held some kind of mysterious power behind the scenes, whispers calling her a high-ranking priestess in the industry who could make or break careers with a single call. None of those claims were ever verified, no proof ever surfaced, but in the chaos of online gossip, they spread like wildfire, turning fear into folklore and speculation into legend. Because in Hollywood myth-making, every superstar becomes larger than life. Some people say she built an empire through talent and relentless work. Others spin darker tales about secret alliances and hidden influence. And the truth gets buried somewhere in the noise. What's real, what's rumor, what's just resentment from people who felt pushed aside, it all blurs together. But one thing is certain, when a star shines that bright, every shadow around them looks deeper, every whisper sounds louder, and every unproven story starts to feel like prophecy to the people who want to believe it.
Person. This has been going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I love them. I send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, just all kinds of...
And you already know the legend around Wendy Williams. People swear she kept receipts on everybody. Ever since her radio days, fans believed insiders fed her secrets, documents, whispers that never made it to print. Some say she hinted about scandals tied to Diddy, Beyoncé, and Jeffrey Epstein long before headlines exploded. None of it proven, all of it controversial. But Wendy herself often talked about how dangerous Hollywood could be, how people feared speaking up. And after everything that happened to her health and career, the conspiracy theories only grew louder, people online claiming she'd been silenced, misdiagnosed, pushed aside. There's no evidence for that, but the speculation never stopped. As always, the internet had opinions. Some commenters insisted Beyoncé must have known whatever Jay-Z was doing and blamed them both. Others said she was unfairly dragged into rumors she never answered for. The truth? Still tangled in noise, still debated in comment sections and late-night chats. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Wendy calling out Beyoncé? Do you believe she had real proof, or was it just another chapter in celebrity rumor culture? Drop your thoughts below, keep it respectful, and if you want more messy Hollywood mysteries, tap the next video waiting on your screen.